YouTubers, Mike Martins here with the Mike Martins channel. Thank you so much for being part of the channel, subscribing and watching. So people, let's take a gander over at what's happening in Toronto. Toronto real estate prices rise more than half the median wage in a month. So this is getting so far out of whack, so far and so disproportionately broken that I don't even know how to address this anymore. Obviously, we know there's many flaws in the system, and it's working against the locals, the local people that do live here. Yes, a lot of people have become wealthy overnight on paper, but it's turned our city into empty cities across Australia, Canada, all these problems, turning these cities into empty shells, and that's become a major issue for funding the infrastructure we've been talking about for years on the channel. Infrastructure is going to be tough to fund, so they're going to have to find a way to federally start bailing out the municipalities where no one's paying tax anymore because they can't afford to live in their own cities. So when price of housing goes up this much, you know there's a red flag. Greater Toronto real estate is now earning far more than most owners could make working. Toronto Regional Real Estate Board says data shows that home prices soared in March. A typical home saw prices rise by half the region's median wage in just over a single month. That's a typical home. A detached home jumped in price more than the median wage. So this is important because detached is obviously far more attractive, and that's what everybody wants. It's the more expensive product on the market, but everybody wants detached. Everyone wants freehold, right? Toronto home prices jumped by more than half the annual median wage in just a month. Greater Toronto Real Estate Composite benchmark, a typical home reached a new high. The TREB composite at 1,007,000 in March, up an unbelievable 16.54%, $142,000 from last year. The City of Toronto benchmark hit 1.029 million, up 7.4%, 74,000 over the same period. The city's price increase is huge. It just looks modest in contrast to the suburbs. So there it is. There's your composite. There's your detached. Of course, everybody wants a detached, right? Look at that, 1.2. And then look at condos. Condos are really having a tough time. There is an oversupply of condos, though. They built a lot of glut in Toronto. And the annual rate of price growth is now accelerating for all segments of homes. A typical home across the TREB and in the city both increased 38,000 in just 1 month. So we covered this already, but this is kind of important. This is the Greater Toronto detached home prices are up by nearly, so this is the quarter right here. So there it is right there in the last quarter in percentages. Detached benchmark hit 1.246 in March, up 23.58%. That's 236 large. A lot of it has to do with FOMO too, lower interest rates and government grants and loans and all kinds of crap to get first-time home buyers in the market. So this is what I said about the condo. Condo has got a glut on the system, so we're going to see what happens with that. We've been projecting a crash from way back here. There's the correction in Toronto. There's the correction that we started seeing. And then what happened was they started to go really hard with bringing in a lot of foreign money. And that's when the money laundering started to go up to here. And then the housing markets took they call this an anomaly, like it almost never happened. And then now things are going back to this anomaly bizarro thing, but a lot of it has to do with a lot of money being dumped into the markets right now, especially with Canada competing for wealthy investors, and that's what screwed up a lot. And this is right here is when they right about here is when they put the foreign buyers tax in Vancouver, and prices just tail end of 2016, early 2017, it just shot up, and then prices started to dip a bit. And then, because they started putting foreign buyers tax and all kinds of weird stuff to control the pricing, then they started lifting stuff. Then they had that what do you call that thing where they see if you qualify for a mortgage, the B standards or whatever the hell they called them in Toronto, where to see if you have the cash flow and if there is an interest rate adjustment, you could afford the payment. And they had to do all those guidelines. And then the guidelines worked in other cities that actually had where housing was within wages, right? So there it is. Greater Toronto condo price growth is accelerating after almost a year of falling. Annual growth is very low relative to the other markets, and 1 month doesn't make a trend. It's also worth considering if every market in the country is rising rapidly due to to Easy Credit. So we got to keep that in mind. So let's go to this email that I got here. Really good one. So Kelowna Real Estate, March 2021. It basically says $781 per hour in human FTE terms. So that is actually like actual working hours, right? So here it is, Kelowna, SALR, that's single family homes detached, 99.76%. This never happened before. So there it is. Sales listings. Sorry, these are sales listings. So there it is. Sales to active listings. Sorry. There's a sales to active listings ratio. I'm sorry. And wow, this never happened before. I thought we would be hitting the $1 million mark by summer. It's already at the SFD segment. So there it is. Deepest sellers markets that I can find on record is 1.0 month of inventory. The only time on record close to this was the month of November in 2005, 1 to 0.1% of inventory. So it is best to calculate the past month of gains using an hourly wage analog. For March, Kelowna House earned $781 per 8-hour day, 5 days a week. For the last, let's go here. Inventory for the last month. That is how fast this beast is moving. So there it is right there. I kind of wanted to show that to you guys there. So there it is right there. Imagine $781 per hour, 8-hour days, 5 days a week. That's what SFD means. It's just basically steady working. And this is sales to active listings. So obviously there's not enough supply on the market, and that's driving up prices too. But take a look at this. This was broken down. Obviously, prices continue to blow out here. No more cash out market to transition into. Don't believe me? Check out Revelstoke, 733% increase in sales. So there it is, townhouse, condo, and SFD. Now, we're talking about Kelowna here. Now, Kelowna is just southeast of me. It's about a 3-4 hour drive from Vancouver. So there it is right there. There's your townhouse price. And then there's your SFD right here. So there's your detached home right there. Look at the price. Holy crap. So, and then there's your townhouse. And then there's your condos. Wow. And we're talking like 3.5 hours out of Vancouver. Look at that. Single family detached home right there. SFD. Sorry, the lingo's coming back to me here as we go along here. So there it is right there. I kind of wanted to throw this out there in coordinates. This article ties into this. It's going up everywhere. People just can't afford to get into these markets. First-time homebuyers cannot get into the markets. And when you can't get the fresh blood of first-time homebuyers in the markets, you have no economy. You have no housing economy. Even though our economy is built off of housing, real estate, insurance, all the Mickey Mousing and appraisals and all that other crap, well, guess what? It's not a real economy. We're not producing, and we're not fabricating, and we're not constructing and exporting like we used to. And unfortunately, we want to go green. You got to pay the price to go green. And that's why asset bubbles start inflating everywhere else, and people start to go nuts. Interest rates go down to get the locals into the market, and because other wealthy investors that come in are just paying in cash up front for their properties, right? And it's a great way to launder money too. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments below about this. You can make more money now owning a home. And I told people not to buy. A lot of people said, Mike, you're right. If I bought, I would have had to borrow from my house to live, especially from this COVID thing. So there's a lot of people still thanking me, saying, look, I would have bought in New Zealand, but the problem is I would have paid $1 million for a house with no heater and insulation. So that's what's happening right now. Houses are way above where they should be. I don't care what people say. Well, Mike, you were wrong. Look, this house is $1.2 million. No, it's not. It's worth $500,000, $400,000 on a good day. Let me know what you guys think on the comments below. Remember, if wages, average wage, above average wage earners are nowhere, median wage, they call it here in the article in Better Dwelling, if median wage workers are not within buying 4.5 times their annual income instead of 20, 30 times their annual income, then we got ourselves a major issue here. And it's going to have to resolve sooner or later. And you know what? I'm going to sit back, grab the popcorn, and get ready. Housing economy, housing market should be tied to average wage, to upper average wage. to lower six-figure income earners, not multi-million and billionaires. Let me know what you guys think. Comment below.